Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the Who Said It Best elevator pitch competition at the HUBZone National Conference. We've been fine-tuning the Who Said It Best elevator pitch competition through the years, and now this is the best one ever, and our contestants are the best one ever. You know these contestants. They are doing something that is one of the most challenging things for people to do, and that's speak in public. So I would like you to welcome them with open arms, welcome them with applause, give them kudos when they're finished, because you know that they've put a lot of effort into their pitches today. And before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge our judges. Today we have with us, let me move our PowerPoint ahead so you can see Rita Brooks, judge number center in the center. Rita Brooks,
come on.
SAIC is in the house. And then we have Diane Dempsey, also BAE in the house. And new with us this year is Danielle, I was going to say Diane.
It's all right.
And I have my glasses on. Diane is Adorvo from AstraZeneca, who is also the sponsor of the award. Yes, indeed. We couldn't ask for three better judges to come in and really give their pithy insights about the matchmaking pitches. So today, moving forward, let me tell you how the session will run before we start with our companies. In no particular order, this is not an alphabetical order, this is in no particular order, we will invite our contestants up to the stage. They will stand at the podium and give a 90-second pitch. Now this is an elevator pitch. This is different from a matchmaking pitch, but it is the basis of a great matchmaking pitch. The judges will be looking for certain elements to the successful pitch. We're not going to tell you all of the elements, but we will hear comments from the judges after every single contestant comes up and gives their pitch. So you will hear constructive feedback. Use those cards on your tables to incorporate the feedback into your own pitches that you will be using at matchmaking tomorrow, as well as your networking. Right after we finish today, you'll be able to use your pitches during the cocktail hour. And it would be fun to see how many times you can actually incorporate the pitch during the networking sessions. Now I need to put my glasses back on without poking myself in the eye. Okay, so we have prizes, and it was wonderful to hear that we will actually have real checks, cashable checks ready to go. Our third prize is $500. Our second prize is $1,000, and our top grand prize is $1,500, all from our AstraZeneca sponsor. So let's go ahead and get started with the dual-purpose elevator pitch contest. We will start welcoming our contestants up. I'll call them up by company. What I would like you to do, contestants, is please come over to the steps and walk up this way. When you start talking, the clock up here, you'll see it, will start counting down. So you will have a control over when you're stopping. Do know that you should not go past 0. Because if you go past 0, that means it's longer than 90 seconds. If you're short, you can make it up. You can still continue to talk. You know, if you're finished at a minute, you still have 30 seconds to fill. So you can still use the time constructively yourself. After you're finished, stay right here, because then the judges will give you some constructive comments, feedback, kudos, applause, whatever it may be that the judges may feel so motivated to chat with you about. When that is finished is when you would exit back down the steps. Okay then, let's go ahead and get started with our first contestant from Trusted Internet, Jeff Stutzman.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff Stutzman. I'm the CEO of Trusted Internet. Trusted Internet is a managed security service provider. What's that mean? We deploy firewalls and antivirus, and we manage that for you 24/7. If there's a problem 2 o'clock in the morning, typically we can fight it off and just take care of it for you. But if we can't, we'll contact your IT people in the morning, and we'll work through that. Our systems are designed to help small companies be secure. Ransomware is your #1 issue. But at the same time, we've mapped the things that we do to 177 of the controls that you need to have for your DFAR and CMMC compliance. Literally within the first 6 weeks, you're going to have a huge leg up on the compliance requirements that you need for your government contracts and your primes. We offer 24/7 firewall management, all of the antivirus, but we also offer insider threat, employee productivity monitoring, incident response when you need it. We're there. We can be there on time and get things done for you. In addition, we take care of your executives in their homes, because if they get hacked at work, they're getting hacked at home, and we go in and take care of the CEOs and the executive team as well. Our coverage starts at about $1,000 a month for a small company. So if you're thinking this is something I can't afford, that's absolutely untrue. We're 5 years old, we're self-funded, profitable from day one, stable, and probably the most diverse cybersecurity company that you'll ever work with. We're Trusted Internet, based out of New Boston, New Hampshire. We'd like to be your managed security service provider. Stop by the booth and say hello. Thank you.
Perfection. In time. Thank you very much. You did very, very well. So Diane, would you like to kick us off?
Yes. Thank you for announcing the name of your company. I only heard it twice.
Yeah, me too.
I also appreciate the fact that you introduced yourself. You clearly described your products and services, very helpful. And I think that you were also able to showcase your discriminator.
Thank you.
And I will be calling you 24/7. Yes, you are memorable because you were compelling. You made me feel comfortable. You made me feel assured. And then I love the fact that you made your mark in terms of 90 seconds, which is a challenging task for everyone. So congratulations. I think you did an excellent job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rita,
She took my thunder.
as normal.
As normal. At first, and you did only say your company twice, but you did an excellent presentation. You were a little fast in the beginning. I couldn't quite get what you did until you started to explain it a little bit more in your pitch. But you have a firewall, CMMC, and cyber. That's what I was getting from that?
You're ADT for cyberspace.
Okay. All right. That would have been understandably
Yes.
from a layman's
Yes.
term to come
I was
across.
in the pole position. I completely forgot.
Nope, that's great. I was just saying sometimes you get so into what you're doing that you forget the little pieces that somebody who doesn't have the technology experience would have related completely if you had just said ADP. So, but excellent presentation.
Very much.
Very good. And Danielle?
Well, I think I heard 3 times, 2 times in the beginning and 1 time at the end, the name of the company. So I think I heard, and I really like because I don't understand IT, but I understood what you're saying. So if I had to refer you to my procurement IT or to my IT team in AstraZeneca, I would probably know how to say, not in details, but I would get an idea. And you mentioned something that for me it's important, that you said that you are a diverse company. So I would definitely, this would makes me want to learn more about your
Very
company.
diverse,
So yeah, so of course,
Makes us
everything that
better.
they said plus this.
Yeah, it makes us better.
Very good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
And now we would like to welcome Stephanie Loker from Lockerbie and Company.
My name is Stephanie Locker, and I'm the managing partner of Lockerbie & Co. Lockerbie is a management consulting firm headquartered right outside of New York City in New Jersey. Prior to starting my firm, I was a former Big 3 and Big 4 consultant, and in 2019, I decided to develop a diverse firm that was led by diverse individuals. The intent was for our teams to look exactly like the employees and the customers of our clients. As of today, the Lockerbie team is comprised 70% of women, 50% minority, 50% identify as LGBTQ, and 30% identify as individuals with a disability. Most of our team speaks multiple languages and have lived in other countries. Also, our internal spend is 80% diverse. Lockerbie has 4 core services. They are Procurement with Purpose, which has a huge emphasis on ESG and supplier diversity programs, PMO, change management, and post-merger integration. Lockerbie is your partner from end to end, from developing the strategy all the way through execution, ensuring that it's sustainable and measurable to ensure that you're successful. We recently led a $68 million cost savings initiative that resulted in a $3 billion acquisition. So with all these services in mind, are you ready for a partner that's going to ensure your success? If you are, that partner is Lockerbie. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and this time start with Danielle.
Okay, so I think I heard you saying your company name twice. And I really like the data that you brought on diversity and what is important to your company, is trying to connect the values of your company with what we're looking for. The only thing that I would be more is invest more time in talking about your business, like what you do, giving examples, those type of things. And I don't know if it was the mic, but I felt like I had a little bit difficult listening, understanding some of the things you said. English is not my first language, so this could be on me, but it's important, you know, when you're talking, when you're pitching, could be anyone from anywhere. So it's just a small advice.
Thank you. Rita?
No, I agree. And I do believe some of our lack of hearing what you guys are saying is because of the reverberation of the mic.
Could be.
So I'm cognizant of trying to make sure we're listening to what you're saying. And I do agree, some of your statistics should come to the end, and what you do, bring that to the forefront. Because that piques your interest, and then you're like, oh, this is great, this is what you do, and then you're backing it up with, we're diverse, you know, we've got the $1 billion contract. That just flip it.
Very good. And Ms. Diane?
I agree with all points. I think that when you're trying to sell your company, you need to understand that the products and services always come first. How can you help me? Another thing that we fall victim to is the use of acronyms. Although I know what ESG is, not everyone does. So we need to explain to our audience quickly what those things are. I understand the linkage, and again, back to the demographics of your employees, interesting, but how would that relate to what your company does? And it wasn't until you got into explaining that I understood it. As an audience, as somebody that's in an elevator with you, I shouldn't have to think it through. It needs to be quick, it needs to be succinct, and it needs to be very focused to capture my interest and keep it for the next 2 floors. And that's the idea behind the pitch. You do very interesting work, important work, but the complexion of your company should always be secondary. It's always the mission, first and foremost.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you very much. All right, let's bring up Miriam Neville from Paradise Architectural Panels and Steel. Yes, let's give her a big hand. Come on, Miriam.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miriam Neville, estimator, procurement specialist at Paradise Awnings Corporation, DBA, Paradise Architectural Panel and Steel. Originally established in 1998 as an awnings company, today we specialize in architectural and artistic metal panels, custom canopy systems, structural steel, and miscellaneous metals. Currently, we are fabricating and installing 13 stations for the South Corridor Rapid Transit Project, which will hopefully alleviate traffic congestion in Miami-Dade County. Paradise brings unique capabilities, both as a structural steel fabricator, rolling and bending members in-house, as well as creating perforated metal panels on our CNC lathes. In addition, Paradise provides the best cladding solutions for your buildings, installing over 200,000 square feet of aluminum composite metal panels annually. Call me today for your building solutions. If you can envision it, we can build it. I'd like to thank Target.gov, AstraZeneca, our judges, the HUBZone Council, and for having the amazing opportunity at this HUBZone conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miriam. Rita,
I knew you were going to say that.
you knew that.
That was excellent. I clearly understood what you did. I knew what your value add was, which is sometimes overlooked. I knew what your capacity was for steel and fabrication, and I could pretty much verbatim say back what you just said to me. So that makes an excellent presentation. It makes it memorable. The only thing is you just kept stopping in between every single point. Just let it flow, because you know what you do. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was great.
Thank you.
Miss Diane.
Okay, I know you were nervous.
Oh,
Everybody is. This is the hardest thing we ever face. I did hear your name and your company's name. Mm-hmm. You were very, you projected well. Mm-hmm. I think that grouping a little more of the projects, remember, top level. You don't need a lot of depth into the project because this is an elevator speech. I love the discriminator that you threw in terms of what your company does. That's a standout. That's important. And I did think you were memorable. You may have scared me a little bit in the elevator, but I think you were quite memorable because you're on it. You're on it.
You are.
All
You
over
are
it.
on it.
And I would like to recommend that even though I loved your thanking us, I don't want that to ever cut into your elevator speech. Okay? A quick thank you for your time. That's it. So you're on your way. Everybody else is too. It's just that I know that this is hard, makes you nervous. And then we invited all these people to be here too.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Diane.
Thank you.
Danielle?
I agree with everything they said. You showed your value, I think, in a very easy way to understand. I understand that you're nervous, this happened, so, but overall I think it was a great pitch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And now we'd like to have Zach Johnson from the Habits Group, LLC. Oh, you got a posse out here.
Imagine a world where everyone who has served this country, a spouse of somebody who is currently serving, and all HUBZone residents had the opportunity to upskill everyone in their home. That is exactly what the Habits Group and our family of businesses is able to do right now. Hello, I am Zacharias Johnson, President and CEO of the Habits Group, where our mission and our core competencies are to heal, assist, and bridge individuals that served and need service. I am excited about the opportunity to go within HUBZones and offer them free workforce development training. We have a proof of concept that shows that we are the best in going into distressed neighborhoods, indigenous reservations, and military bases and have immediate economic impact by giving people access to free workforce development training, employment opportunities, and full wraparound services. With your support, the Habits Group can aid and assist the next generation of future leaders, career seekers, and small businesses. So please join Habits in helping heal HUBZones. Thank you.
Very good. Miss Danielle.
Okay. I think there's a difference between elevator pitch and a commercial pitch. Like you started very strong, I was intrigued, but I don't know if that's the best approach when you are having a face-to-face opportunity, like for elevator pitch, because you start with your company name, start saying who you are, and try to get the people interested in what you do right away, more than, in the idea behind. It's fascinating, like I could see this in a commercial, you have a very commercial voice, so I could see definitely this on TV. But for a pitch, I would recommend to establish this connection, like this is my name, this is my company, this is what we do to facilitate the communication. But of course, well, for me, I work with diversity, so I'm really passionate about everything. I was definitely interested in learning more, so yes, very good pitch. I would just recommend that you would start more trying to connect in a person level and then talk about your business, and then give more data to get people entertained and interested in what you do.
Awesome, thank you. Rita?
I think you started off, different than what Danielle is saying. You started off, projecting, but then you started reading, and your whole tone changed. So if you're going to do something like that, you need to maintain that enthusiasm across your pitch, and then not just go back to reading, because it takes deflates the balloon. I understood exactly what you do, and you were memorable, but just as Danielle said, you just have to change it to be a talk between you and someone else, and not more of a, I'm talking to a general audience. And I think I only heard your company twice.
And Diane?
And I agree with all the comments. I think that you did hit your marks. But I would like you to think in terms of coming straight out of the box with exactly what you do. If I have to imagine, I need to take a pill and lay down. It's too much work, seriously. So let's just come right out of the box and say, the Habits Group, excels in this particular area. And you underscored that. I know that you were reading, but part of that is that you want to make sure that you hit your high points. This is called rehearsing, okay? So I think that with a couple tweaks, you're going to be great. I mean, all of these speakers have been very good. What we're trying to do is take them to excellent, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. And now let's bring up Manish Kara with 6E Technologies. Welcome, Manish.
Good afternoon. My name is Manish Kara. I am the CEO of 6E Technologies. We are a company that specializes in robotic process automation, data analytics, and ERP systems. I guess, and I have a lot of experience in this area, 6E Technologies' core competencies in what we look at is we want to focus on only these areas and not anything else. We've got plenty of partners. We don't want to boil the ocean. This is what we're looking at. And I have documented experience in the last 10 years working in this industry where I have saved our government clients over $50 million in these areas. And the one thing which is a passion of mine with robotic process automation, especially now, is the fact that over the next in our commercial practice, we have managed to save our clients an average of increase their productivity by 27%. And if we can do the same thing in the federal government, every 1% improvement in processes in the federal government means I can send a check for $1,000 to every American family in this country. So that is my focus. I want 6E Technologies to focus on RPA and data analytics because I think that is where we can make the biggest difference in government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Diane, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, you did a really fine job. You projected well. I want you to be able to support those statistics. I mean, they sound pretty extraneous. Whoa, stop.
Okay, sorry.
So be crisp.
Yes.
Okay, and focus on the closure of this. It's not about how you see your vision. This is where we go off the rails. It's an elevator speech. It's not about your vision or imagine or we hope to do this in the future. Stick to the facts. And if you've been able to deliver that kind of cost savings and you've been able to save the customer certain dollars, be crisp with that. Okay? I mean, you really scored. Thank you.
Thank you. Rita?
And we go back to the acronyms. So I think you said RVA systems? RBA systems. RPA systems. Make sure when you're doing, just be careful the acronyms, and it's just know who your audience is. So again, if you have a less technical person, has no idea what you're talking about, it's kind of going to go over their head and they're not going to have the breadth of what you're trying to get across. Also, you do a lot of I. So I like this and I did this. You want to represent your company, so make it more about your company and less about Manish.
Okay.
You also said the company twice, that I think I heard. I didn't hear a third. You are memorable because what you do is really important. It's just kind of, what Diane is saying, just stick to the company information and things you can back up as opposed to a bunch of statistics, because it really doesn't mean anything to me at that point because I don't even know your company.
Okay.
Very good. And Danielle?
I agree. I like that you mentioned kind of your vision, what would be the future. But during an elevator pitch, I would, not kind of waste time on this. I would talk more about what you can do. And you have great numbers. And I really like the flow of your pitch. I think you started, I think I heard it 3 times, but maybe I've just
I heard it 3 times.
I didn't hear. I heard it. I tuned out on it.
But
I heard it.
and I like the flow.
I'll do
I think the way you said was very natural, and you showed that you know what you're talking about. Maybe too much, like for someone who doesn't know IT, I wouldn't understand the acronym. But I think you did a good job. I really like the flow of your pitch.
Right. I got 2.
Very fluid.
Thank you.
Manish, thank you very much. So as we get ready, we're halfway through now. You can now understand how difficult it is, first of all, to prepare these elevator pitches. So we have great respect for every contestant that's coming up. And you should also be listening for tips on how you can write your own pitch. Please use the cards on the table. If you used up one and you want another one, there's still more sitting in the center of the table. So create your own elevator pitch using the information that you're hearing today from our judges. Let's now welcome our next contestant, which is Nicole Dial of Blue Lotus Leadership Solutions.
Good afternoon. My name is Nicole Dial, founder of Blue Lotus Leadership Solutions. We provide and value the power of openness, intentionality, and connectedness to fuel the enlightenment and transformation of your workforce. Our core competencies are human capital management, culture and change management, organizational excellence and transformation, and learning and development. Blue Lotus Leadership Solutions is the absolute best at operating in rapidly evolving and complex environments. We are different because we are a professional, certified human resources firm with over 25 years of HR and leadership experience. Our solutions are tailor-made to fit your business needs with personable experiences and competitive pricing. Therefore, we are committed to helping you make a positive difference across your leadership teams and workforce. At Blue Lotus Leadership Solutions, we will help you by investigating your challenges and opportunities through a variety of lenses. That's how we expand our understanding and increase our knowledge to create trusted, equipped, and ready workforces. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Danielle, would you like to kick us off?
Okay, so I know that you were nervous, but you were very calm and you tried to speak pausely, so congratulations for that. I know that it's not easy to do this. I think I would bring more passion. I know that you have inside, but you need to show, like, try to make it more interesting, try to create more connection, try to show the value, especially because you work with people, leadership, etc. So it's important to try to show, I know that you're nervous, I know that this is not a regular thing, but try to show more details what you do, like make it more interesting fast. And one advice, try to be very specific about what we do, the type of consultants, because sometimes the words get confusing. So try to be very specific and then start going into more details after, just to collaborate the flow. But congratulations.
Diane.
Thank you.
I agree in that I thought your approach was a little clinical. So for those of us that maybe are not as immersed in HR, maybe tailoring it around some of the real activities that you do, because it was a very vanilla, generic list. So I think that if you can give maybe one or two crisp examples, that would be very helpful. This seems to be the big buzzword right now in terms of, COVID and connectivity. I don't think you really even address the connectivity. So understanding what that means and how it relates to HR management and cultural shifts and interacting with employees and maybe encourage more engagement. I mean, there was no mention of some of the tools that you would use. So I think that, you projected well, and I think you have ideas on how you wish to discriminate your company but I think you need to quickly fill in some gaps. Give us a little more meat with those potatoes, okay? And you went a little over time, so you have to be mindful that I need to just run down the list. And again, this goes back to rehearsing. Seriously, I mean, we all need to rehearse because you have just 90 seconds. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. And let's welcome Patricia Mir, Director of Business Development at Edsel Communications, or EDS.
Good afternoon. My name is Patricia Mir. I'm with Edsel Communications, LLC. We provide full-service information technology solutions for government agencies and industry since 2010. Our core competencies are IT help desk, network administration, cabling infrastructure, voice-over IP system integrations, and network assessments. The Edsel team has a stellar past performance, solving technology challenges and providing tailored solutions that support the mission of our clients. We are different because, first and foremost, we listen very carefully to the client needs and provide solutions and information that they can make good decisions. And second, we select very carefully our staff and team members, so they're a good fit for the client. Edsel Communications can help your agency to maximize the performance of your IT infrastructure, improve the overall end-user experience, which translates in better productivity for your team, and ensure the security of your systems and networks. Again, Patricia Mir with Edsel Communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Rita, would you kick us off?
Sure. I still haven't figured out exactly what you do. Sometimes when we get into the IT world, there's generic buzzwords that everybody uses, and what I think I need for you to do is to hone in some more examples, like examples of what you do, and not just kind of the generic transformation, integration, because it could go in another direction if I didn't have like something to hold on to. It was a great presentation. I'm not giving, I'm not taking away from that, but I just needed a little bit more exactly what you do.
Thank you. Diane?
Thank you. I did feel it was a little vanilla. I am in the IT world, so I understood exactly what your services are that you're providing, but that's because I'm in it. Mm-hmm. I could not understand your discriminators. So I want you to work on that. What makes you special? Because you gave very vanilla answers to that. And I know it's there. We just got to get to it. And I thought that you hit your marks in other areas. You did mention your company several times. You introduced yourself. And I think that your being memorable is when you're able to give the examples that Rita was alluding to. Some very specific things. We support 5 civilian agencies. We work at DOD, or we support banks. Whatever it is you do, we need to understand that a little more so that we can understand who you are and how you fit. So part of that marketing is to share with us what really discriminates you from everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you. Danielle?
I agree. I think I agree with Diane. I think you put a lot of information in 90 seconds, which is amazing.
Yes.
But I think if you could bring more real information, I'm sure that you have this would make it more interesting because you never know who you are talking to in a pitch. Can be like an internet dummy like me, so we wouldn't know. So try to be more specific on the examples. But you managed to put a lot of information and talk very slowly in the 9 seconds, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now would like to welcome Alaran, Chief Operating Officer at Del Novac.
I am Ayo Alaran. I'm the COO at Del Novac. Del Novac is an IT security services firm, and our core competency is really around helping our customers understand their data. We are the absolute best at working with our customers to understand your data and the gaps that exist between your data and the compliance standards that you are required to maintain, either as a government agency or as a government contractor. So for example, we have worked with civilian government agencies on their HIPAA compliance. HIPAA is the standard around protecting health information. And we've also worked with agencies on FISMA compliance. FISMA is the federal act that ensures that our government agencies and government agency systems are protected. In addition to that, we are very different because recently CISA, which is a component of Department of Homeland Security, selected us as one of the selected few small businesses to conduct assessment for them at different organizations within the country. So we are definitely very proud of that. And in addition, we also have 100% customer satisfaction. We've been in business for 12 years, and we've never had one single customer complaint. So at Del Novac, we help you understand your data risk and your data security compliance issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Danielle, would you like to start?
Yes. Thanks for giving more details on the acronym. I think that was nice, and you did like in a very fluid way, so for me sounds very natural. I would just watch out for some sentence like we are the best and we never had a complaint, because customers are customers, like are full, like just be careful to not sound trying to sell too much, because we know that those things happen. And when you say something like we are the best, try to connect the why right after, because it makes more sense, to have more logical on your overall pitch. But I did like it. I understood what you did. I understood the value that you add, even if it's not in my space. So congratulations.
Thank you, Diane.
You hit your marks. Okay, I agree with the comments in that, you know, everybody thinks their company's the best. It's your company. Of course you think that way. But I really enjoyed, you know, your mention of keywords, you know, the agencies that you're supporting, some of the more complex work that you're doing. It certainly draws people in. It's definitely a discriminator in the exacting complexity of that work. So, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Rita?
Everything she said. I mean, you hit all the marks. You were memorable. I love the way you explained the acronyms so that I understood, you know, exactly what type of business you were doing. I also agree that just don't say you're the best, or, you know, those kinds of words. Yeah. Everybody says that. But no, that was an excellent presentation, and you were definitely memorable.
Thank you very much, Ayo. And now we have Bowen Richwine from Shine Systems. Welcome, Bowen.
Good afternoon. My name is Bowen Richwine. I'm the Senior Vice President for Business Development at Shine Systems. Shine Systems is a HUBZone small business founded in 2007. We primarily work for the Department of Defense and the intelligence communities. As such, we have a top secret facility clearance. Our 4 core competencies are decision analytics, where we support across the Department of Defense and at the Department of Homeland Security. Technological innovation with contracts at the Defense Intelligence Agency and at the Department of Homeland Security. Mission support services with contracts at the National Institute for Health and the Defense Intelligence Agency. And cyber services, which we perform on a contract for the Department of Education. What really makes us different is our focus on people. Shine Systems puts a lot of effort into finding the right people and to retaining the right people. Consequently, our retention rate is high. This is better for the customer, it's better for the employee, and it's better for the company. We've supported our government customer overseas and at home for the last 15 years. Now we're ready to support you and help you accomplish your mission. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Bowen. Rita, would you like to kick us off?
Sure. Some of what you said were buzzwords. You know, you said you were decision analytics, technical innovation, mission support, cyber. Those are all things that I hear everybody say. Give better examples. You gave who you worked for, DHS and so forth, but you really didn't hone in on exactly, cyber can mean anything. You know, so what part of that cyber piece are you a part of? You know, innovation is a vanilla word, I guess is what we were saying. Also, you switched over to focus on people. So are you staff augmentation? Do you do staff or, you know, it gets a little hairy when you then go to people and you really haven't explained what your purpose was of what you do. I did love the way you said you were a HUBZone small business, you worked with the major agencies, that counts. But just hone in a little bit more on examples, not just the agency, but what you do.
Sure.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay. I understood exactly where you're coming from. In fact, I need to talk to you later. That's it. He's done.
Oh, it worked. And Danielle?
I agree. I think I like that you said the agencies that you work with and that your HUBZone small. This is important. I always say to companies, use this in your advantage. But I would put more focus in what you do, giving more details, being more specific, trying to connect with what you do. But very good presentation. Also a lot of information in 9 seconds, so good job.
Great job. Thank you. Very good. And now would like to welcome up to the podium Patrick Porter. Let's see if I can get this to move to the next one. Maybe if you guys can do that for me in the back. There we go. With Enfield Enterprises.
Yeah. How we doing, everyone? My name is Patrick Porter with Enfield Enterprises. We are a general services contractor that performs construction work across the U.S. and Puerto Rico. As a HUBZone contractor, Enfield Enterprises is able to work on projects with the DHS, DOD, DOT, and DOE. But I want to tell you about something that we are very passionate about. Enfield Enterprises is passionate about emergency response missions. It not only allows us to build back the facilities that are impacted, but also the communities in the areas that have been hit by hurricanes, tornadoes, or flooding. So we were able to work with KBR on over 50 contracts after Hurricane Michael at Tyndall Air Force Base. And with that, we were able to see how Tyndall was able to go from being demolished to building back to something great. We were also able to work with the Army Corps last year after Hurricane Ida, where we installed over 11,000 temporary roofs. Now, as a employee-owned company, that sense of passion is derived from our employees, who also have a sense of accountability and ownership in the company, and we were able to give that back to everyone around us. Thank you.
Thank you. Danielle.
Okay.
Big difference.
I think
Switched
you were.
that up last minute on you.
I think you were memorable, like when you bring examples, like the hurricanes, etc. It's something that drives attention and connects easily. So I think this was a good way to bring examples. I didn't hear your company name much, so.
Yeah, I think I only said that twice.
Yeah.
And so that was,
It was
yeah,
two.
I-
Okay,
yeah, I missed it.
you don't get to talk right now.
Yeah.
But you mentioned, you said what you do, you were clear about this, and I like the way that you connect. I would just try to be more, talk a little, how can I say this? Also bring more passion, because you guys obviously you're a company, it's a different type of company, so I could feel in your speech, I wanted to feel in your voice also.
Yep.
Thank you. Rita.
I actually do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you were talking about the hurricanes and all of the things that you were passionate about, were those subcontracts or were they just passion philanthropic?
No, they were subcontracts, but I mean,
Okay.
with, like in Hurricane Ida, I mean, I spent a full day with a homeowner because she had a bad experience. So I went out there, and to me, it's passionate.
No,
because-
I just wanted
yeah.
to know if it was something that you had a passion, your company was doing this philanthropically, or that was a subcontract that you had to do those positions.
Yeah, it's a subcontract, or it's a contract.
Just make that clear, because it kind of transitioned a little funky, so just make sure that you said, we got contracts with so-and-so for doing 11,000. It just makes it, that's more of what your company is all about.
Yeah, I'm able to say, but we're also
It's just not clear.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Diane.
Yeah, so I think we need to focus on, it is an elevator pitch. So, your passion is interesting. Let's talk about it over drinks, right? So let's get to the core. I had a hard time figuring out what you did. I really did. And when hurricanes came up, I was like, okay, did you do, relief work? What were you doing?
Right.
So you don't have time for that. You need to just come right out of the gate with, this is what we do. We're a HUBZone, and because of the work that we do, rebuilding, but be clear, is it civil, at one point I thought you were a civil engineer. Is it construction? Is it temporary housing? When you said KBR, if I have to connect the dots for myself, we're in trouble.
It's too confusing for you.
It is.
Yep.
So I think you really have to just think it through, rehearse it, and rehearse it.
Oh yeah, I just wrote this about 20
Thank
minutes
you.
ago. So.
Yes, you did great. Thank you. Now, that was the last excellent contestant that we had. We're going to go ahead, as soon as you're ready, hand them to us.
I'm ready.
And we're going to start tabulating the results.
Okay.
We still have
Here
one
you go.
coming. And let me tell you what we're going to do now while the results are being tabulated. Our judges are going to give us some more. Now, I wrote this down because I want to say it because it has a great alliteration. Our judges are going to help us with more pithy pointers for successful pitches. All right.
So I'd like to start off with, for instance, if you are approaching a company, whether it be a matchmaking appointment or you're just coming by their booth, et cetera, you really need to understand what their pressure points are. What are their pain points? Where do they need help? And if you don't know, then you just need to do some research, wait it out, get the information and say, I'd really like to do a little more information, research on your company, and then if I think there's a fit, I'll reach out to you. I think that that's a much more effective approach than sitting in front of someone and then you walk away feeling badly. Oh, I didn't do a good job pitching. Or they really didn't understand what I do. So you want to use your time as wisely as possible. It's not a race to the finish. So you don't have to fill up your whole scorecard or your matchmaking appointments just to be able to check a box. Make it intentional.
Thank you.
Well, you're looking at me. I've been doing a lot of webinars and PTACs and everything you can think of, talking to small businesses. And one of the things that I've actually added to my conversation with small businesses is the fact, and this isn't even part of the pitch piece, this is something else. You are signing up for all these events, you're going into portals in different companies, filling out your information. A lot of times you go, oh, if I've got my name and address and phone number and who owns the company, that's all they need from me and they'll find me. What's happening now is there's a lot of third-party tools that are out there that are pulling information from federal databases and from wherever they can to find companies that I may need to source for a requirement. So if you're out there just putting your name, address, and phone number, you're not putting your NAICS codes, you're not putting descriptions that are keywords in order for people to find you, you're going to miss out on opportunities that you aren't even aware of. So go back to sam.gov and DSBS and any other portal that you start entering your information. Be complete, be concise, have the right keywords, and really tell your story as much as you can in the space provided, because algorithms are are out there now. So if you just say cyber and you don't say, CMMC, then they're not going to pick you if what I'm putting in my keyword is CMMC. So that's one. The second place you need to look is D&B. Look regularly at your Dun & Bradstreet rating, because when we go to look at you, it's a non-starter if you don't have financial stability. Somebody out there could be hacking into your information. They could be giving you, you've got something out there that you didn't even know you had. Look at everything that you put out there on the internet, because it is now public, and these companies, which is great because it saves me time for sourcing, but they're gathering everything that's out there to give me the information necessary to give it to my BD people or procurement people or program people to say, hey, here's some small businesses that are HUBZone, veteran-owned, SDVOSB, whatever the category they're looking for. So go back, circle back, and complete all of your information where you've put it.
Very helpful. Thank you.
One thing that I was thinking, I think know your audience and know what you're going to pitch. If it's an elevator pitch, you might not have time to research on the company. You just met someone, you have an opportunity to talk about your company. So make sure you have a pitch for this situation. Make sure that it's generic, like a pitch for dummies that anybody can understand. But like in opportunities like we're going to have tomorrow, I expect the companies who have scheduled time with me to know what AstraZeneca is. And I'm not saying this because we did the COVID vaccine. I'm saying this because I want you guys to do your homework also, to understand what we do, to come with questions. I don't mind questions. I don't mind what you're doing here. Do you do business with HUBZone? What type of business do you buy? I don't mind this. But I expect you guys to do your part. So an elevator pitch, it's something. A commercial pitch, it's something else. If you're going to put a commercial on your program, if you're going to make a video about your company, it's something else. And like a quick elevator pitch, an opportunity to chat about your company and ask for a business card, it's something else. Be prepared for all of those situations, because what I've seen frequently, sometimes I get someone very senior in my organization to talk with a small business that I found interesting. And they are not ready. They are like, oh, I can do whatever you want, just tell me. Like, they are expecting to come from us, and should really come from you guys, what you guys can do, how are you guys different, what are you guys, how your successes, how to set you different. So I think it's something that you guys need to be prepared for every situation. Have your pitch, making, I think Diane said, intentional. the time that you have and the words that you are saying, because you don't want to waste an opportunity when you have one. And we know how hard it is to get. Yeah. So,
another thing that I would like to focus on for just a moment is competencies versus capabilities. Mm-hmm. Do you understand the difference? Because a competency means this is something that we have done repeatedly and done well. So you're very competent in that. A capability means, well, we could probably do that. Okay, we have the capability to do it. We could hire a couple people and do that. Or we could augment our machinery to do something. We could switch it up. We saw a lot of that in COVID. You know, where companies were transitioning and reinventing themselves. I'm interested in competencies, not in what you think you can do, but what you've done, because it gives you credibility. Mm-hmm. So understand the difference when you sit down in front of someone and talk about your competencies.
And I think to add on to Diane's point, when you come up to any prime and you're saying, I could do anything, or I do engineering services, and I do hardware, and I do software development, and oh, by the way, I do facilities management. Well, that's out of left field. So come with your best in wheelhouse. Don't bring everything, your laundry list, because that actually dilutes your competencies that you have. So if you're coming up to SAIC or BAE or AstraZeneca, and you know they don't even do that type of thing, or you're literally just saying, oh, I can do anything you want me to do. No, you really can't. So just bring to us what is your best and finest. And that will get you a lot further than just laying out the whole laundry list. That also applies to your capability statements too. You want to concentrate on who your audience is. I don't want your facilities management information if you're trying to get a cyber contract. So tone the paperwork that you give to us, gear it toward what you're offering.
Yeah.
When you are vetting a company and you're looking through their SAM or their SBA profile, and you see that they may have 20 NAICS codes or more, does that affect any decision that you are making?
Well, it means that there's really no focus.
Right.
And listen, when you're first starting your business, you chase anything you can. We get that. But as you grow your business, you want to move into that space that you're really focused in, right? Stay in your swim lane. So you do need to update your SAM profile too to reflect who you are. Small businesses have the ability to reinvent themselves every 18 to 24 months. So make it important, make it recent. The things that you did 10 years ago, who cares? Nobody cares. They're really interested in what have you been doing in the last 3 to 5 years. It's relevant, it's important. So think in those terms. You know, it's like your resume. Nobody cares what you did 30 years ago, right? They care about what you're doing in your current job and did you do a good job? So think in those terms.
Very good. It looks like, are the results tabulated, my friends?
Drum roll.
Are we ready? We are ready. Okay, we've got the, yes, I love it. Drum roll, please, everybody. Yes. Excellent. So remember now, we have a sponsor that's coming in, and I'll just hold it this way for now. Okay. And I would like to ask our sponsor from AstraZeneca, Danielle, to help us present first our third place winner will be, can you read that? Let me get that, here we go.
Okay. So the third winner is Jeff Studman with Trusted Internet.
Excellent, Jeff. Come on up.
You okay?
Congratulations. Would like you to stay up here, please.
All right.
As our third place winner, you did a great job. You brought you were the pole position, if I remember
the pole
correctly.
position.
See, and you won. Terrific. So our second place winner, we would like to join us here. Let me see. We want to make sure. There it is.
Miriam Neville with Paradise Architecture and Panels and Stereo.
Miriam. Exactly. Awesome. See, you brought that energy to it. Congratulations. Please stay up here. And now, woohoo! This is what we've all been waiting for. The company that has knocked it out of the ballpark is
Alaran with Del Nova.
Excellent. Congratulations, IO. We would like you, all of you, to come up, please, and everyone to come in for photographs. Please come in. I would like you to be in the center holding this. I'll get on the far side. You guys get in the middle. Okay. Excellent. Congratulations, everyone. Wonderful.